Claudio, welcome.
Thank you.
It's gonna be really pleasant to talk with you, man.
Thank you.
Finally, this is the first time we actually meet and see each other.
It is.
We have talked on the Swedish Bonsai Facebook group.
All through internet, yes.
Yeah. For me, I feel like you are a strong figure in the Swedish bonsai community. Tell me a little more about yourself.
Thank you. It's very nice to finally meet you. We have had a long contact through the internet, so at last. Well, my name is Claudio, as you know. I live in Mariefred, outside Stockholm. Have worked with bonsais for the last 11 years, partly through the Swedish Bonsai Association, but also through own learning and going to meetings or exhibitions in other countries. I have started my own little business on bonsai for about a year ago, where I try to teach the basics about how to take care of these plants in the first beginning, what people should think about so they don't die for them the first thing they do. Try to sell some tools and wire and stuff too, and I love bonsai. It gives me a peace of mind and heart to just sit front of a plant and try to work with it and find the shape of the bonsai. Try to let that shape speak to me. And you can sit about for 1 or 2, 3 hours in front of the tree and just looking at it.
It's like everything stops around you and you are totally focused and also in control.
Yes.
And it's like being one with nature. Yeah. So, what got you into bonsai? What is your first ever impression with bonsai?
The first thing I got in, it was my wife. She bought me a Ulmus chinensis for about 11-12 years ago. I think she regrets it because I have a lot of plants now at home. But I got interested. I thought that bonsai was only a specific species, but I learned that it's an art how to design plants or trees, and I got hooked. I got interested for it because I wanted to take care of this gift the best possible way I could give it. It died a year later, but I was still hooked on to bonsai after that.
Cool. That was that the first bonsai tree you ever see?
Ever.
Never seen anything or reacted to any small tree.
I have seen bonsais on the internet and some catalog ones, and I said, wow, that's a fine bonsai tree. That's beautiful. I would like to know how to make those. And my wife heard that and bought me one.
Is your wife interested in gardening? And
she's interested in gardening, but not in bonsai.
Okay. Well, maybe she can start with ikebana or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Sweden is still relatively little and small on the bonsai map in the world. We are hungry and we are passionate about bonsai, but still we are not entering the international scene. Why do you think it's that?
There is a couple of factors that speaks against us in this case. The one most important is the short period of time we have during the spring, the summer and the fall to develop trees, because we have so long winters, so cold periods of time. Most of the people that started bonsai don't have this patience to wait for the next year to continue with bonsai, and so then they drop it. The other thing that is, we are not so good at starting meetings locally in every corner of the country. I think it's because our nature as Swedes, we are mostly for ourselves, but we have to go outside our shells and try to meet others. Like in this case, that we
have to be more open.
Yes. And if we can do it, and also develop ourselves as bonsai artists. But we need to meet other bonsai enthusiasts in Sweden, and only then I think we will be able to get a bigger interest in bonsai. We have to advertise more here in Sweden too.
What kind of domestic species that actually live here in Sweden wild do you like? Is there any species that you think are hard and some that are not so hard? What is your take on that?
I have the most species you can imagine about pines, deciduous, bushes. I have the most of them. I don't think there is any specific species that is hard to work with. It depends on how you take care of them, how you take care of the roots, how you prune them. That's the more difficult thing to manage. If you can manage that you can take care of every kind of tree, indoors or outdoors. I have also some indoors trees that are fully developing, but the trees that I like most to work with are pines or oaks. Junipers I find very easily to work with, despite that they have sticky nails. If you have gloves, then you can work with them very easily. But when I go out to the forest, I don't look after no specific species, only shapes. If I can find a specific birch or a pine that I feel appealing, that I can see this I can work with, then I try to collect it. So I am searching more after shapes than species.
That's very interesting, because that almost forces you to get a lot of information about that specific tree that you want to collect.
Yes.
And that helps you grow as well, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to learn more about those different kind of species, how you will take care of them, and it develops you as a bonsai artist.
This is the first Scandinavian bonsai retreat ever, and I mean, we have names like Harrington, Alex May, and we have Thor, who was one of the person that actually started this event.
Also Jose Redondo is here.
Yes, Jose. And many of us are actually meeting for the first time.
Yes.
But still, there's so much passion and friendly atmosphere everywhere. I mean, I think it's amazing to have all these people coming from all around the world and meeting here in Älvdalen. This small but so beautiful place.
Yes.
What is your impression of the weekend so far?
I think it's a marvelous place, a perfect opportunity to meet other peoples. I feel that this is a great opportunity to start developing this bonsai furthermore than we have done earlier. This is a great opportunity also to invite our international friends from Norway or Finland, so they can also see what we are doing here, because the level of techniques and material and trees that we have developing here today or this weekend are amazing. There is a very high class level of the techniques and quality of the trees, and to make them be more beautiful, more as bonsai, is a tremendous opportunity. Specific when we have a international guest here.
I think we're heading in a good direction.
Yes.
And also it's very exciting because we don't really know where this is taking us, but I think we all can agree that we feel really good about it.
Yes, the aim is to make this thing again next year. And now that we know what to change, then it will be bigger.
Improve it.
Yeah. Yes. More tools, more trees, more refinement of trees, more everything.
Yeah.
More pots.
Yeah.
There is an amazing collection of pots shown here this weekend.
Yeah.
Fantastic quality of the pots.
We have Thor showing his pots.
Yes.
We have Alex May.
Alex Rudd or May.
Yeah, Alex Rudd May, showing his pots.
Thomas
and we have Thomas Gramming.
Yeah.
With his pots here, and I mean, you can see all the people when they were coming through the door. They was like going all the way down, checking the corners of the room, and then straight to the table with the pots.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Beautiful pots, beautiful craftsmanship.
The level of craftsmanship is amazing. I totally agree. How is that pine that you are carving doing?
Oh, it
how is your take on the transformation?
This was amazing. I was stuck with how I could develop it more, but Harry made a sensational change on it. It was amazing to see how it became actually a bonsai. It was wow.
Is this your first time carving?
Yes, the first time, and it was very, very fun. I will now go home and carve
you're going to carve every tree you have.
Everything.
Every tree. Thank you so much, Claudio.
Thank you, Johanna. Thank you. Congratulations for your YouTube channel too. It's very informative. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Så.
But we've got there's over 15 potters now in the collective, and we've got new potters still joining at the moment. It's basically a site for free information. There's lots of information on there about each different pot has a different profile. We're building a database of all the different stamps of all the different European potters. So if you have a pot and you don't know who it's by, you can go on there and check and see who it's by and that sort of thing. And obviously, it's a good place where you can go and have a look at lots of different potters' pots. Top Shelf Bonsai Pots is my website for my collection of Japanese pots and European pots. Again, there's information on the different potters on there and my various collection on there. It's probably less than half done at the moment, so I've still got loads to add, but there's some good information on there. It's worth a little look. Porcelain was really popular in Europe in the sort of 17th, 18th century, and it's amazing. There's a village in China called Jingzhou, and literally 99.9% of all of the porcelain we see in Europe, the old porcelain, came from this one village, and it was all carried 700 miles on foot. We literally had that bar thing. I think you Swedish guys have this. Thor showed me a bar that he has with to carry water, and that's how they used to carry these pots. Along one pass, went across a mountain, around a mountain, under a narrow archway. So literally every one of the pots that was made for 200 years that we have in the West here came from that one village and walked that same path, which to me adds a huge amount of interest to the actual pot and the history of it as well. There was quite a few things that really threw me and confused the hell out of me when I first started, so I'll just explain a few of those if I may, just to dispel some of the mysteries. Firstly, with the names, there are a lot of potters that have similar names in Japan, so it's good to be aware of that. Now this is pretty much one potter, if you like, one kiln, Yamaki. It closed in 2011, so it's actually closed now, but it went for 3 generations. And the chap that started it is called Akitsuka Katioka, sometimes Aji or Ajaki. Basically, his name is Akitsuka Katioka. When he first started, he opened the Katioka kiln. These are the affordable, if you like, potters. Now these guys, a lot of these guys will actually make very good pots as well, but they do cheaper ranges. I mentioned Tokonami.jp. There's actually a catalogue that they do, and a lot of these guys are part of that catalogue. Shibukatsu and Rico and Yamafusa, Katori. Yeah, so there's some cards at the back, so if you want to grab a card and check out the website, there's loads of information on there.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.